Enable microphone.
Yeah. All right, you guys, welcome back to another show with Spoken with Purpose with your girl Tanya. So y'all ready to see? I got some guests here. I got some guests here. How y'all doing out there tonight? I'm your girl host Tanya. I got here to my right. I have, what's your name, girl? You wanted me to introduce you like?
I'm scared. I'm Naisha.
Right, this is my beautiful niece, and then I got here to my left. Let me know who you is.
A-Lee. Nice friend.
Right, so these are the two guests. Look, I'm trying to get, because see, my face was hiding from the mic. I'm over here trying to adjust myself so y'all can see me. But, you know, it is what it is. But y'all already see the topic in the heading, and again, it is on the table, and it is called Entanglements. So that's what we're going to dive deep in here today. Y'all ready for this conversation? Look a little nervous, don't they? They look a little nervous. So we're going to talk about this because y'all already know we talk about shit that go on everyday life. But at the end of the day, we got some people who wrapped up in entanglements. So we're going to start off with what the definition of entanglements is, and then we're going to kind of go from there. So the book's definition of entanglement is a complicated or compromising relationship or situation. You want me to read that again?
Read it one more time.
It's a complicated or compromising relationship or situation. So which y'all know that is the book definition or Webster definition pretty much. We're going to get into what it means to us. Y'all already know the street got its own language.
I want to go first.
Let's go.
So, for me, an entanglement is basically like what she said. So, a situationship. So, you in a relationship, but you not in a relationship. Like, we together, but we not together. Like, I know for some people, like, it means something completely different. Like, with the whole, like, when entanglement first came out, with the whole August Alsina and the Smiths whole thing. Yeah, entanglement with August. Entanglement with August. Yeah, so when that came out, it was a whole thing as far as like somebody single messing with a married person, and I don't feel like that's technically an entanglement because I guess I go based off of like my own personal experiences. So with me, that's not an entanglement. Entanglement for me is like a situation, so like we together but we not together. Like that's
Gotcha. We're gonna break some of that down because we're gonna get into what what I feel like the situation is anyway. So you want to get into your definition?
Honestly, before the whole August Alsina thing, entanglement was not in my vocabulary.
Yeah, none of ours.
So I'm learning today. I'm gonna find out.
Okay. So that's pretty much where he stands at with the entanglement. And I'm pretty much, you know, I'm kind of with Naisha.
Okay.
Well, I'll say it's complicated. Whatever situationship that you are in is a complicated one.
So when you say complicated, aren't all relationships complicated?
No, well, you may have some. You may have some good days, some bad days, some things that may arise within your relationship, and you just handle them accordingly if you both are on the same page as far as the one to stay in that relationship. But we're going to get into what I think a situationship is. Keep that in mind, what I just said. You know, both of y'all in agreement that y'all in an actual, fully committed relationship to each other. So issues may arise, but y'all will come to some form of resolution.
So
y'all can stay
it's
together.
complicated itself is like a relationship title in itself, like single taken or is complicated. So
Yeah.
I feel like it's complicated just mean like you can't define it. Like it's
Yeah.
you lost for words with it. Like it's
Yeah.
I don't know what to call it. That's what
I agree. That's
It's
why they titled it
complicated.
now
Exactly.
situationship.
yeah.
Yeah,
So that's what
I agree. They have replaced complicated with a situationship.
yeah. Entanglement.
You agree?
Uh,
You like starting the conversation, goddammit. All right, so now that we have a baseline, because I have a question. So you may not agree
okay.
to what we said that we think an entanglement is, but have you guys ever been in an entanglement?
I don't. When I think of entanglement, that come to my mind, I think of like cheating
I think it's yeah.
or like a scandal.
Definitely scandal. I'm damn sure with you there.
Me personally,
Yeah.
if I'm in a relationship,
No, you ain't an entanglement.
I'm saying that if I'm in a relationship,
Got you.
if I'm in a committed relationship,
Yeah.
then I'm not thinking about cheating.
Got you.
Me personally.
So you ain't never been in no entanglement.
I don't get on entanglement. It's just,
Got you.
yeah.
You ain't in no, but you're not the entanglement guy.
Either I'm committed, fully committed
Yeah.
to one person, or I'm single and it's
Mingling.
mingling.
Yeah.
Okay.
Them entanglements though.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. I was gonna say, so you don't consider you being single and mingling like kind of sort of entanglements? Because what if the people that you mingling with, what if somebody catch feelings and you not really on that? What if it's like, no, I'm just trying to chill, but like you steady,
Yeah.
you know, vibing with Shorty and you already know how she feel. Like you technically
Yeah.
causing more problems for yourself because you know she like you, but you just like,
Unless you just that don't give two fucks type dude, just like I don't care nothing about your feelings, and you don't really come off at that dude. But I could be wrong. You know, I'm always, I be thinking I be know what the hell we talking about, but I don't really know what I'm talking about. You understand what I'm saying? But I'm saying that because you do have some dudes where it's an understanding. God darn it, this right here is a one night thing. Or even when we do come, old girl already know how far it's gonna go. Don't be come up here talking about no. Can I get a hug? Can I go on a date with you? You ain't asking for no extra relationship type shit. You just we coming in, we gonna bone, and it's out of here.
Yeah, the fact that entanglement definition says it's complicated.
You have.
Like I said, I keep it simple. Either it's a relationship or it's not a relationship.
Okay.
So
we
I
ain't
guess-
gonna put nothing on you.
I guess it's entanglement. Then.
I got you.
well, I have certainly been in some entanglements if we go based off of our own definition.
Yeah, absolutely.
So again, the whole situationship, like we in a relationship, but we not in a relationship, like it's complicated type stuff. And I feel like a lot of that just come from like, people got their own preferences. Like a lot go into it. Like you got your own like baggage from previous relationships, so you got trust issues. It's a lot that go into that. So I'm gonna just keep my answer simple for now until we break it up and say yes, I have.
Yeah.
So real quick, so if you hook up with somebody, a hookup.
Yeah.
Is a hookup automatically an entanglement?
No.
Are y'all continuously
No.
hooking up, or is it this one time thing?
See, I think of a hookup as
One night stand. Then that's it.
it's not complicated.
Okay, well, I don't think that's
A one night
entanglement.
stand is not complicated.
Yeah,
Sure,
one night
so it's
stand.
not
That's it, because you
A
have,
one night stand is not complicated.
Yeah.
You don't deal with that
It's-
person.
it's
Several hookups can be,
Okay.
Yeah.
I see what
especially
I like
when one
that-
person
that
catches
clarification.
feelings.
I see where this is going.
Yeah, but I totally agree with that because if there's no title in it, then that motherfucker is coming. It's gonna be a complication somewhere, sometime
So
down the line.
So it basically sounds like you starting
Stick to one night stands.
you starting two relationships basically. That's what making it complicated is the fact that you.
Two relationships just from a one night stand.
I mean the fact I'm talking about entanglement.
Oh.
Entanglement it means like okay, there's two separate relationships
It's
going
three
on.
parties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Sometimes.
Sometimes. It all depends on. Now we heard the book definition, but obviously we just said it's the street language. The street definition is a situationship for me in old Naisha. This shit that got complicated. All right, so I have personally been in an entanglement. So we got answers: no, yes, yes. Okay. So now with that being said, how did you end up being in this entanglement?
So I'll start. Okay. So how I started being in an entanglement situationship, whatever we want to call it.
Hold on, let me bring out some things because I think, like, were you lonely? Was it exciting? Like you don't want nothing serious, like you want no real serious relationship, or like you may have had a friend that had a situation going on and it looked real appealing. So you like, I done had this old ragged behind relationship that I done got out of this situationship seems like this might work for me where I'm currently at.
Mhm.
Or, you know what I'm saying, did it start off as a, you know, like a friends with benefits type of situation?
Okay. So I'm thinking, because I'm just like, dang, she was saying some real stuff. Because I done had a couple that done started like different ways. So
Yeah.
like the friends with benefits thing, that's definitely happened before, and I ended up in a situationship with somebody, and then it eventually turned to a relationship. But it turned into a relationship not because I wanted it to be a relationship, but because he wanted it to be a relationship. It was just like, it was just a lot. And I have a habit of dating people because they like me and not because I really, 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 really like them.
Right.
So that's how like that situation turned into that. Not saying I didn't like him, but I wasn't. I want to be like
Wasn't
really,
being like
really,
him.
yeah. I want to be like into somebody before I officially commit. So I feel like that's kind of why it was a little bit complicated for me in that situation. And then like the whole I was lonely. Oh child, I was lonely. I was lonely at one point because there was a point where like I went like 2 years without dating somebody when I was in college, and I was just like, dang, like that sounds like it could be fun, because I'm honestly like a relationship type of person. So like for me it was like, dang, I'm tired of just like hanging out, like just, you know, single and mingling. Like I want to date somebody, and it was like, this person seemed like they're interested in me. Let me just like date them. Let me just like hang
What
out.
it's like, yeah.
Exactly. Let me just see what it's like.
Yeah.
So like we would just go out and stuff, and we was basically, I wouldn't say playing house because we weren't living together, but it was just like we was situationship.
Dancing around
Yeah,
with relationship,
right,
job, but no
exactly,
title.
correct. We were literally that's that. We was literally doing that. So I feel like for me, I've done probably all of them. I have to read them again because I missed a
Lonely,
couple. But
excited.
yeah, and it sounded appealing too. Like dang, like
Yeah.
let me, you know, because like I said, I'm a relationship type of person. So to
Absolutely.
me, it was just like it just fit for me.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I understand where you're coming from. Not necessarily fully agree, because I personally didn't see a situationship that was so appealing that I feel like I just had to get into one. You know, I sort of kind of felt, I ain't gonna say I fell in one, but you know, after you ain't had sex in so long, you just like, shit, I gotta get this off me. You know what I'm talking about? So you gotta get, I need sex back, period. That's pretty much what it was. So, you know, I think I should have knew better, because I'm a person who wear my feelings on my sleeve. I'm more like, now you should just say it, I'm a person who is not only used to being in a relationship. I think that's kind of me. Like that's all in my DNA. Like I ain't gonna be able to help it. So I can't just end up being. You better one night stand me. I'm gonna tell you, because if you give me it over and over again, I'm just telling you, feelings is gonna be catch. So that's more or less me. I didn't get in it because it was exciting. I didn't get in it because I was lonely. I didn't get in it because I didn't want a relationship. And I got in it. Well, I ain't gonna say I didn't want a relationship. Well, I was looking for a relationship. I'll say that. But that's how I ended up getting into the tangle.
I got a question before we get to
Gotcha.
that. I'm so sorry because it's on my mind.
Gotcha.
So, do y'all feel like you could be in an entanglement without actually like having sex with the person? Like, do you feel like you could, you know, keep those two things separate? Like, actually like date the person versus like actually having all of that extra stuff? But I feel like
courting?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's considered an entanglement. I just think it's what it is. It's courting each other. Absolutely. I think the terms. Did you want to?
Okay, like I was saying, from my perspective,
Yeah.
entanglement came from August and Jada.
And Jada.
So from my perspective, Jada was a married woman. August is not. He's
Gotcha.
not married.
Yeah.
So that would be, from my eyes, just
Wrong.
a scandal.
Yes.
Hey, I go out to the club. Hey, this night happened. I got into
So you
it.
think they kind of
I
fell
got
into
into an entanglement. That's how I look at
It
entanglement.
fell into the entanglement.
I don't look at entanglements as no commitment. I look at it like a hookup,
Gone wrong.
friends with benefits type of thing. Basically, anything that's not with a commitment would fall into an entanglement, I guess.
Yeah. Nobody said it all depends on what your definition of entanglement is, because they all kind of falling up under each other. You realize? So,
Entanglement is the new word.
not going to be using situationships or it's complicated. Pretty much, but as far as what Naisha was saying, I think it's a good point. But I would call it courting. But I think when it comes to situationships, why situationships has become appealing is because most people want the benefits of a relationship, like all the good aspects of a relationship, the dating, the feel goods, the sex, the no arguing, you know what I'm saying? So they kind of set the terms of it. So it's like, it's the do's and the don'ts what you have. Like, it can be consistent sex, it can be no arguing, it can be, you don't have sex with nobody, you're free to have sex with somebody else, but when you have sex with somebody else, the terms done change. Like, bro, you might go on, stay on over there, sis, you might want to stay over there. But it's more or less the terms that you set. So can a term be no sex in that quote-unquote situationship? I think it's courting. But if you want to make it a situation, it's the terms that people set within these situations.
Sex is definitely involved.
In the situation.
I disagree.
You're not just finna be dating some. Okay, first off, in the entanglement, is that two different relationships? Like that, like, okay, I'm here and I'm there.
That's a love triangle.
Okay.
It can be.
It's still an entanglement,
Yeah,
but what you're describing is
yeah.
a
So
generally
you can
love
just be two people in an entanglement.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like you can be two people in the same. I don't feel like it needs to be a third party.
Yeah.
But I also disagree. Like, I feel like you can have an entanglement / situationship / it's complicated without actually having sexual intercourse. Like, I
think you can.
feel like you can.
I was thinking of it as one person or somebody's in a relationship and then something else
Came about.
come about. So
Cheating.
Of course, it's sex going on.
Cheating.
I was thinking, like, you're not gonna be in a relationship with somebody and then just like
Just dating somebody
and
on the
just
side.
dating and just
Okay, so you got a question?
It's a comment from the audience.
Right.
This is Akila. Akila's watching. She said she has been in an entanglement, but maybe she didn't really call it that. And she was also talking about when you start having sex, people catch a different type of feeling. She said it's soul ties. It's a setup.
I totally agree.
I think so too, which is why I feel like you could do that, especially if you one of those people who like got trust issues or like actually really looking for a relationship and you just not really on that just yet. Like, you just like, oh, let me just like feel this person out for X amount of time. Like, you got intentions to possibly be in a relationship with them, but like it's the commitment factor that's like keeping you from actually being in a relationship. Like, situationships don't always be bad, and I feel like that's another thing. These ain't always bad. They should not always be a bad thing. So this whole like August Alsina and the Smiths thing, like, it do kind of put it in a bad light. It put it in a bad light because it is looked at.
I don't agree. I don't think it was bad, but go ahead.
I feel like
I'm talking about the person that over there
because on
controlling the
Twitter,
I said it was
Twitter
bad.
was going ham at
It was
it,
bad.
but I was looking at it from like just a different perspective. But I was also looking at it trying to see it from everybody's perspective.
Exactly.
And the way Will presented it was that, or the way the Smiths did was they were broken up, and Will not necessarily gave her permission, but like they had an understanding that they were single.
Yeah.
So to me, I was like, oh, it wasn't no wrong. But like I said, Twitter was going ham, and it was like, nah, she trifling, she cheated, your vows, and da 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 da. I was like, nah, but like, y'all ain't in that relationship, so you don't really know.
I agree.
Need that.
I agree, because at some point, we don't like to keep our opinions to ourselves, So if that is a place that the Smiths had come to, where technically divorce had not taken place, they're definitely still married. So of course, someone who is more traditional, they're gonna be thinking of it in the form of cheating. So they like, oh, it's hella bad. You know what I'm saying? So, but at some point, you gotta allow people to deal with their own situation. So if that's what went on in their marriage and they've crossed that hurdle, then you gotta let it be. At some point, shut up and deal with your marriage however it is that you deal with your marriage. So I think when we get so opinionated like that, that's when we put the rights and the wrongs on them. You know what I'm saying? We just always gotta label something right or wrong.
Yeah, the labels come in. I think the labels come in because technically, Jada would have been labeled as a married woman.
Mm.
August would have been a single man.
Yeah.
So he was free to do whatever,
Mm-hmm.
but she was not.
What?
So
That's when wrong come in.
that's when she said, I got into an entanglement.
Yeah. Versus saying I'm
So
wrong.
was he in an entanglement?
Okay, I got you.
or was he just
He was tangled up with them, so they was in an
That's a
entanglement.
good point. That is a good point.
And
Entanglement, you
just
tangled up
because
with
he's
something,
single
somebody.
don't mean he had no fault in what he did by sleeping with a married
Yeah,
woman.
yeah.
Akemia Atkins says she is searching for an entanglement as we speak.
I know that's right, Mimi. I know that's right. It was something else that you had said before we move on. When you were saying that, you were in. You said it was a situation. Well, you said that you were in a situation complicated in the relationship. Like it was complicated. You had a complicated situationship that turned into a relationship.
Yeah.
It's pretty much what it was. But you mentioned about you kind of got into a relationship because somebody else had more feelings than you, or they was leaning more towards a relationship than you. And we gotta be honest on this show because that's me. That was me. I felt like in my situationship, it was I don't want to use the term forced, but it was definitely me pushing more towards a title than the person who I was in the situationship is. Now, of course, on retrospect, what does a title, what do you really need a title for? If you have if you have the understanding, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, that is what I was pushing for. But I also think that situationships exist because people be like, they just okay with those terms. They want the benefits of a relationship, but they don't want the title. Because when shit get complicated, because people feel like when titles come, now you got obligations, now you kind of stuck. Like, I can't get out of this. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like certain people don't want relationships because you're not gonna bind me or bound me to this situation when I feel like it's become unappealing, or some that I don't feel like I'm not gonna stay with you, bro. We're not married. Like a lot of people are now dealing with relationships like they are marriages. Like, bro, y'all ain't married. You can go on.
Regardless, exactly.
Y'all understand what I'm saying? Sound like you look like you had something you had wanted to say.
I'm listening. I'm learning. I am learning.
It is, and I think that people. Some situation, you just gotta put your feelings in your pocket at some point because.
It's the labels. The labels are what sort everything out. So, because
it gives
the
you
fact that
clarification.
somebody was married
Security.
makes it cheating.
You think a title gives you security?
Structure.
It sorts it out. Because if there was if everybody was just doing everything, ain't nobody married, nobody committed, then it's just.
It is a form of commitment,
It's a whole
though.
bunch.
You set the terms, though. You got terms. Whatever those terms may be, it can be sex, dating, whatever it is, your terms. You're committed to those terms until you don't want to be committed to them no more.
If there was no
Title.
no titles at all, then everything would be an entanglement. It will only be entanglements.
Could be. Could be not.
Possible.
Who's to say?
But the fact that, I'm married and, you cheating. Well, I'm in a committed relationship, that's cheating. But I guess entanglements wouldn't be such a horrible thing. From my perspective,
Yeah.
If everybody was single.
yeah. If everybody was not committed. But people commit. Why do people commit though?
I think it's your values as far as to what both of you guys desire or want, or it actually comes from some form of desire that you guys are mutually agreeing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so now that that's the baseline pretty much of it. So you guys want to commit to each other. The person who I think that's in a situationship who don't want a title, you know what I'm saying? They prefer situationships without a title is because it's some type of form of commitment that they not with, or maybe they done had a relationship you know what I'm saying, when they done had certain issues and felt like maybe they could have got out of it sooner, they felt like that shit ain't gonna never happen again. Something set a term, something put a line in the sand for this person. Well, like, I ain't putting no title on it. Because at some point you're running. You know what I'm saying? Because in any situation where you're involved with just one person, you gotta know you got two different people, two different personalities, you two totally different people trying to come together to work on one accord. There is going to be some complications. So you gotta know that you want to be with that person to work it out.
And then to piggyback off of that too, I was thinking, for whatever reason, my mind just went to like open marriages and open relationships.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's like in the entanglement bracket.
Yeah.
And I feel like too with that, like, would you consider? I guess some people would consider that cheating, but those married people probably wouldn't consider that cheating because they have an understanding that within their marriage, this is okay. They have their relationship set to a certain. You know, they got it all written out. They got, this is okay. Like, as long as you let me know that you finna go sleep with somebody else, like, we good or whatever their terms and conditions are. But another married couple might look at him and be like, y'all crazy as hell. Like, what y'all doing? Exactly. So, I feel like with a relationship and titles and labels and stuff, I feel like you good without a title as long as, like, you and your other person on one accord. As long as y'all on one page, like, we both know what we doing. Like, we know our relationship better than anybody else's relationship. Like, we know what's going on. As long as you know what you got going on, like, you good. You don't need no title.
I agree. Cause I think go ahead.
It sounds like Will and Jay, they were the worst people to even define entanglement because they swingers, aren't they? So why?
They
why,
say they ain't.
So why would they? That's bad.
They say they ain't.
Okay, my new entanglements is not what I think from that situation.
Yeah.
The only reason the entanglements came out and it had to be explained is because everybody else got in their business.
Yeah.
This been happened.
Absolutely.
Everybody else just found out about it because August told, so they felt like they had to go ahead and tell everybody what happened.
Set
So
the
that's
record straight.
correct.
Yeah.
But ultimately, they were good with that. Just like she was saying, they
And
were
that's
okay
why I was
in their
looking at them
marriage.
like, they good. Like, whatever they had going on, like, Will came on and he was like, nah, like,
They came on
it
that
was
line.
straight. Yeah, I mean, I did get a vibe that, you know, they wasn't telling the whole truth.
Exactly.
But at the same time, like,
It was
not
their
business.
business.
Anyway, they don't owe us no type of explanation.
Correct.
They
Correct.
really didn't. I was waiting though, and I saw, you know, Jada tweeted was like,
Ready
it's
to
time
watch it go.
to bring myself to the red table. I was like, okay, I can't wait. I want to hear what's
I want to hear about this.
And I was
This
happy disappointed after watching that. Like, I was really upset.
It was
yeah,
like-
y'all done hyped us up and then let us down.
It was like throwing herself on the altar, the way she set us up for it. Like she was about to just confess.
Yeah, I
Just-
agree.
I was ready.
I
She
agree.
let me do it.
Yeah, I mean, we could have dealt without it. You know, I guess he gave us a little bit, but you ain't give us too much. But do you think that, you know, like you just said, you could, without the labels, you and your dude, who you in the situationship with, y'all good, y'all straight, everything is A-okay. Do you think outside influences like judgment or people's opinions and, you know, what people think is right, what people think is wrong, or, you know, whatever people, you know, people are like, oh my goodness, you know, because it may not be a secret situationship. So you guys are in the public, but you know what I'm saying, which gives people an opinion about it. Do you think that they force the relationship onto you guys? Oh, y'all look so cute together. You know what I'm saying? Even though y'all got to understand what it is, other people's perception may see it as a relationship, but y'all know what it is. Do you think that kind of does it force some adjustments to this arrangement that you guys got going on?
You want to go? I'm just trying to, you know, get the time. But, yes. And just because I feel like social media as a whole plays a big role in people's lives, their relationship, literally like everything. So I feel like regardless of like what type of understanding you and your person got going on, like it's still gonna always be some type of outside influence. And it don't even have to just be from like social media and people just saying y'all look cute together. It could be something as simple as having really religious grandparents that'll look at you sideways when you bring your friend to a family gathering and they're like, okay, so what y'all got going on? It's just like, grandma, like we chilling, like it's just my friend. Like it could just be something as simple as that. That could just, you know, have exactly change the terms. And then I feel like it don't always end up in a relationship. It could backfire. tired and
You
be
better
like,
believe it.
dang, like my grandma telling me like she out here shamed because I'm around here sleeping with such and such person or I'm with this person and like we ain't together, so it's just like dang, like I really would prefer not to take it to that next level and get in a relationship with this person. I'd rather just lose them altogether. So, you know, it don't
Now
always
you finna go to the next
yeah,
person.
so I might end up going to the next person, but
No,
I
but I'm
might
just saying,
I
now you
just
gotta
know
deal with that though.
I might not bring him to the family gathering or something. Like, I don't know. I just, you know,
I know that's
I'm
right.
trying to please everybody because I am a people pleaser too. So
Yeah.
I feel like I just, you know how to move. I might not bring him, around.
It's
him.
messed
I don't know.
up,
It's something like that.
It's messed
I
up
don't know,
because
because
there's so much people need to shut up.
They do. I agree.
They
People
really
need to mind
should.
their business, but at the same time, when
They
you
don't.
grew up a certain way, all the values and stuff follow you. So they thinking that they done, made an impression on you and they have it because they just have it. Like
So
you your own person.
it's sounding like in titles really mess up the relationship.
Yeah.
Cause on some high school stuff, on some high school stuff,
Yeah.
everybody like everybody, right? Kind of, pretty much.
Sort of.
Pretty much, yeah. Everybody got a crush on whoever, whatever. And then, okay, we going out.
Mm-hmm.
So now, all your friends, if I entanglement with old girl,
Uh-huh.
it's a big issue.
If you dating a girl and then you start dating her friend later on,
No,
that's what
I'm
you're
talking
saying.
about entanglement.
That's what we
It's all right.
heard, though. You.
But no,
dated-
I'm just saying, okay, entanglement and dating
Well, he
aside.
was-
I'm just saying,
if you
I'm
messing,
saying that the label is what messes it up.
Absolutely. Stay single if you, because you know what comes to, we become selfish at something. That's what it sounds like to me. It's a little bit of selfishness because you're just saying, okay, you got this high school thing going on. Everybody like everybody, right? Like you got a little crush here, a little crush there. Okay, so now I like you a lot. So I done got myself in a relationship with you, but now I'm still over here crushing on such and such, still like such and such. You know what I'm saying? So now what I don't want everybody, I don't want all the other motherfuckers over here that got the crushing on her, they get her, so I'm gonna keep her.
Keep it
You know,
tight.
that's mine. Title her, but I'm going on over here and messing with such and such. That's when shit get complicated. That's when your ass is in an entanglement. But at the end of the day, don't be selfish. Don't be trying to lock people down, bro. Look, just like you want to dim and dab over there, bro, let it go. But because that's what it comes down to. We are some selfish individuals.
Correct.
And then we also want a sense of security. Because why you want her obligated to you, but not you want to sow your raw oats everywhere else. Like, come on, bro. Like, why they do that? Today is tell me what it is, bro. Tell me what the lick read is. Give me an option as to whether or not I want to stay in this thing truthfully. You know what I'm saying? From like whatever it is that you want. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't like
Give
that.
people an option.
And I'm sorry, I agree to a certain extent, and I'm disagreeing because I personally know some people who've been in that situation where they come up front, they tell the person straight up, hey, this what it is, I don't want a relationship, I just want to, pass it, I just want a phone, like, and that's it. And then either that person who said they only wanted the bone, they catch feelings, or this person be like, okay, and in the back of their mind, they want a relationship, but they think they could change the other person. They be like, all right, I'm gonna just stick with them until, because I'm a fantastic A-word person, and I could change their mind. Then they stick around, and then they feelings steady get hurt because this person steady sticking with other people, and they steady like getting attached, but like they not in the wrong because they told you what was up from the jump. Like they told you, hey, I only want the bone, and you don't call feelings, so now it ain't my fault.
Well, I agree, but that's why I say you gotta tell people what it is. Like old boy or old girl, whoever saying, look, bro, this is only it. You know what I'm saying? Now you got somebody else who up here secretively trying to. Y'all just wrong, bro. At some level, I mean, you gotta be honest with people. You know, if that's what you want, then don't be lying. Like this ain't what it is for you. I don't care how good of a man you think you are, how good of a woman you think you are. When you can convince somebody that this is what you need to be, that's not honest. That's not what I'm not saying. I do think that is going on all day, every day.
All the time.
But you know what I'm saying? I ain't with it, bro. Tell me what the lick read. I'll tell you whether or not I'm with it.
Yeah.
And that just is what it is. Because I'm with a lot of shit and I ain't with a lot of shit.
So, is marriage is marriage a thing of the past?
No.
Well, actually, it's not a thing of a past, but I don't think as many people care about marriage as they did back in the day.
That's what it's seeming like.
I don't know. I mean, because it all depends on who you talk to. Because I do think that marriage is still held in a high regard. I'll say that. But what it is to me now is the terms of marriage. Like it ain't that. It's definitely not what it used to be. You know.
Not even
It
marriage,
used to
just a committed relationship. Two people. Is it two people saying like we committed
Yeah.
to each other?
You think that's been
I feel like that's the thing.
it's a
Like
strange thing
it's
with
starting-
them up. It's distinct.
that's what social media is portraying.
I agree.
I just think that
certain
they're
extent.
praising singleness more. You
No,
know,
it's
more.
praising, it's
It looks. It
praising
appears.
entanglement. It's praising.
Well, I don't think nobody is really looking at it like an entanglement because people it has this negative conversation on it. But I think that people the hype that they have out there as far as to what singleness is what people is reaching for. But when you got some people who real deal want to be in relationships and know goddamn where they hope they wear their feelings on they sleeve, you cut it out because you know singleness ain't for you because you one of them people like Naisha just said right here trying to act like you want to be single and you about that life and you really ain't about that life. You just want to appear that way because of this social media fad. Like cut it out, bro. That ain't what it is. Be honest to who you are.
I think committing and being in a relationship or being married is a thing of the past. And I say that just because I don't see too many people getting married now. I don't actually when I was younger. When I was younger, it ain't like I just was at every single wedding, but like as an adult, yeah, like seeing people get married and actually staying married, I feel like it's a thing of the past because like you don't. I feel like people nowadays we don't get in relationships and actually like get to know a person. Like not saying you gonna ever be able to know somebody like the back of your hand, but like you not getting in a relationship because you actually genuinely want to know this person and want to be with this person for the rest of your life. You getting in this relationship because it looked good on
Right
social
now
media.
or right now
and,
thing.
and it's on some right now type stuff. Like you just like you live in the moment and this is that. But then like 5 years down the line, you really like you be sitting next to this person, you be like, dang, like
I'm like, I'm not gonna be with you forever.
I don't even know you. Like you don't like peanut butter. Like it just be like little stuff like that. And it's like that. No, for real. Like it really be something that little.
You
Like
a real deal asshole.
yeah, exactly. Like or you left it. Like it's something that you should have knew from jump. Like
No,
I'm
you tripping.
no.
You on some real.
I'm so serious.
Because people grow at some point. You know what I'm saying? If marriage is supposed to be a lifetime commitment, right? That's at least what it originated from. You think it's a life to death do your part? It's a lifetime commitment, right?
Okay.
So if you're getting into that situation, what I think now is these goddamn terms is they go in with these do's and don'ts. They have first of all the expectations of what a marriage is supposed to be. It's fucking ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? And then they got so many do's and don'ts as far as to what's not gonna go on in their relationship, in their marriage, or what's gonna go on in their marriage. And it's like no breaking that code. Not realizing that again, you got two individual people who's trying to work on one of accord. If you genuinely wanted to be with these people, you gotta understand, nigga, we all grow.
Yeah.
We all grow. And why would you want to be with somebody who don't grow at some point? So you gotta adjust, you gotta shift, you gotta move. You know what I'm saying? If you and understand that passion may not remain, because I wouldn't have been married. Y'all a little younger. So, you know, everything may not stay so exciting and so good. You know what I'm saying? But when you want to be with someone, then you got to realize that you're going to have to make some changes or create. You got to create some shit in order to, you know what I'm saying, motherfuckers stay married. You know what I'm saying? You got to overlook some shit. You got to become patient. You got to become long-suffering. It's a whole bunch of junk that's involved when it comes to marriage. And if you don't really understand those concepts, you don't need to be married.
And we don't, as a
Sounds
generation, I feel like we don't.
Sounds
Yeah, I
like
agree
love
with
and
Naisha.
lust. Sounds like love is sacred and lust
It's for the moment.
could be anything, but
Yeah, what is
lust
that?
can be entanglement, hook up, friends, benefits, all of the things, but love
Yeah.
is a My grandparents been married for 40 years.
Well, I sure love know the hell went on that marriage. But go
ahead. It ain't all like,
A lot.
everything all happy. They be sick and tired of each other sometimes, but
Absolutely, but
Back in those days, everybody wanted to get married. That was just, you supposed to, I want to get married. I want to have a house and a white picket fence and the 2.5 kids. That was like the perfect thing. They don't want to do that no more. If they do get married, it's to see who got the biggest wedding and the prettiest dress, whatever. And like she said, they staying married for a couple of years and it's over. So that's why it's not the same. That many people don't want to get married like that.
Bullshit, man.
So Kiana Barnes is watching. She said, she back on what you guys were talking about with Jada. She tried to downplay it by calling it entanglement, is what she said. And Akilah Week said you right about the marriage. She still want to be married. So yeah, she take after you, and it should be the next topic.
Yeah, I think we could talk about because we kind of dipped it down as far as whether we was going to talk about that tonight. To be honest with you, so that might be the next show, but. I agree. I do think the passion is still there because I love hard. You know, I love people. Period. You know what I'm saying? So, and I love people unconditionally. So if I'm in a intimate relationship with you, that love is real. You know what I'm talking about? So I ain't, I can deal with anything, to be honest with you. Whether or not you want to deal with it, but I can put up with it all. And I say I can put up with it all because, the bottom line is because of Christ. It's the person who be in me that equips me to kind of deal with it all. But you want to be in it with someone who you want to be in it with. You don't want to just be in that motherfucker, just give the bitch all this love, and this motherfucker might not want you like you want them, or, it's a lot of, that's one thing that I have learned in the process of going through a divorce. Because I'm just a loving person. You might be with somebody else, or you might fully love somebody else, but boy, some dynamics that changed. And I've seen some shit that I wasn't fully aware. I'm about to talk about some other. I'm about to go to a whole nother subject. So we ain't gonna do that. Look, let me back up a little bit. But yeah, that subject coming. So did y'all have any last remarks or something else that I missed? Because I know Keisha be back there thanking you. I ain't missed that. How did y'all entertainment? Did they end?
All of my entanglements, they end. They didn't all end badly, though. Actually, I don't think any of them did.
They end badly?
Nah, ain't none of them end bad. Like, they just didn't work out because the person, liked me more than I liked them, or it was just a phase, or...
You got tangled up and then you got untangled.
Yeah, I found a knife. I found a knife in my pocket, and I was just able to cut that vine. I was able to get loose. Yeah, mine went into that. Mine didn't blow up. I was fortunate.
That's so nice. How did my entanglement end? It's still
She's still writing that chapter. It's still,
it's ongoing. It's ongoing. She real though, I tell you that much. She real, yeah.
He never answered. You ever been in an entanglement like this?
He said
Now
no.
that you've learned the definition.
I'm a lover.
He like me old loving ass.
I'm a lover. So naturally, even my entanglements, I didn't classify. I always thought I was in a relationship. So
just tell you.
Well, we don't go together.
I mean, I go with you, but you don't go with me.
Right.
That shit real out here though, cuz. For real though, cuz all motherfuckers going with people.
Like, make sure, what you mean? You don't like
going
going
with
with
them.
them? You ain't my girlfriend.
That's so funny because that's so true, bro. People really
That's
love
fucked
that.
up though.
I've seen that a lot, though.
But that's why coming out the gate and being completely honest with each other is, I ain't gonna say it's the key because I'm single. Like, I don't know the key, but I feel like that's important in a relationship. Like, everybody be like communication and comprehension. I feel like just laying out all the terms and conditions, lay out your contract at the beginning. Like, we can always tweak stuff here and there because, like you said, people change, people grow. But lay out your contract from the beginning. Like, let the person know what your true intentions are. Like, always be open and honest with the person person at all times.
They can't do that because they're sparing feelings sometimes.
But-
You don't want to tell nobody, I know you love me, but I don't love you. That's kind of hard to say to
But I
somebody.
mean,
But motherfucker is
you
real.
can say that, but
It's
say it
real,
in
but
a
how many
different
people you
way.
know
I
say
mean,
it?
you might not. I agree that a lot of people don't say it. I don't think too many of motherfuckers. It might be one out of a million. So I definitely don't think people around here saying it. But being a motherfucker, I will tell me. Don't motherfucker tell me you love me. You motherfucker love me. So I would. I mean, now you ain't gotta be like motherfucker. I don't love you. But if I say I love you, don't be like, babe, I love you back.
Yeah, just
You know.
don't
So
say nothing.
don't be doing that. Don't be doing that. You know what I'm talking about?
That's
Don't be
what
just slanging that motherfucker word around me
I
like
feel
that.
like that with a lot of stuff, like not even just love, just I like you, calling people words of affection like they and all of that stuff. Like if the other person on that, that's great. If you not on that, don't go there yet. Like if you
Yeah,
ain't
I
ready,
agree.
like-
And if the
and it
situation
starts with
don't
little
fit your
stuff.
ass up.
It's really just the little stuff like words of affection first, like bae, like just calling somebody like what they call like terms of endearment.
Babes, boos,
That's-
honey,
Yeah,
shit,
babe,
pies,
boo, all of that. Like
all
it
that.
start with that, and then it eventually, cause then once they hear that, they're like, oh snap, I'm babe. And then they be like, oh my god, I like you.
Correct.
Like now the girl telling you she like you, and then you looking at her like,
Well, you tripping. I don't know what you wish
and
you
then
get that
eventually
from.
like you know you gonna eventually
I'm
catch
just
on
trying to be
and
nice,
start
sound good.
Yeah,
They
and-
just
but
don't
that's
roll off
the
the
problem.
tongue.
It sounded good, and now you done appealed to this person, and now that person tripping. Like they
I
ain't really
agree.
tripping, but
Or
now
it
they
means
they
something
think-
different to you than it does to that
Exactly,
person.
'cause
That's why
y'all
we
don't wanna
see and hear whatever we want to see. and hear.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
that's why you gotta
so
make
mean.
sure you always
It's so
say.
mean. I misinterpret a bay in a minute.
Yeah, I won't. I'm
Hey,
trying to interpret stuff how
Where the,
I'm
where the love at, man?
Sometimes it ain't no love.
Look
bro.
over here. Where the love at?
Sometimes it ain't none.
It's a cold world out
It
here.
really
It's
is.
a cold world out here.
It's so crazy that I even misinterpret bays because I say like little words of endearment. Thank you, darling. Like when people hold the door for me, you know. So I say little things like that. But if I'm in an intimate relationship with somebody, well, a situationship, but it's definitely intimate. You know what I'm saying? You said a couple terms, but if we know we ain't got no time, but you done call me babe, I feel like I'm a little special.
Exactly. And then
You
you
know?
probably ain't.
Right.
That's my whole point.
When you
I'm
Just
always
babe number two.
When you
I
go
ain't gonna be no babe number
when you
two.
go to an outing and he called two other people babe too.
You be like,
So then you like, well, that ain't my babe.
right, exactly. You
Now
look
you
down,
done
you
learned.
taking the
Yes,
chest
my
Shirley
babe.
over there. Like,
Yeah, see, but for me, I know who I am. It's a problem for me. It's a problem for me, for real. Not the fact that you don't call me babe. You know, now my misinterpretation of what you meant by babe, then that's a conversation to be had. That's fine. That's easily resolved. But you ain't gonna be no motherfucker. All these babes around this motherfucker. We ain't gonna do that.
so you just be like, sweetie, listen, hold on, I need to talk to you because you called me babe last night. So is this a word
No.
that you just call everybody, or do you really
No,
like
when you stop calling me babe, this gonna be a goddamn conversation.
I had a boyfriend in high school that called most of the girls, everybody named was baby. Baby. Oh, I was special. Everybody named was baby.
Yeah, so
It's a new age now. I mean, Pop Smoke, what's Pop Smoke say?
You said you done called three other people baby too.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah. Left up, ain't it?
Yeah, I'm a different breed, cause I'm a different breed. I don't know if I'm a different breed, but I know me. So, cause I like the little words and endearments and shit. So you know.
I'm old school. I'm old school. I believe in love. I believe at the end of the day, when you old, but when you get old, you want to end up with one person,
You're gonna be in a committed, monogamous
committed
relationship.
relationship. That means maybe getting into it too early might be a problem. But at the end of the day, in my mind, whenever you do commit,
That's it.
that's
Yeah.
be able to ride it out.
Cause I'm a
So
promote.
maybe-
It's crazy, cause I'm a parent that kind of promote entanglement.
yeah, honestly.
Get it out your system.
And that's exactly what I'm coming from, because once again, people are treating relationships like they're motherfucking marriages. You know what I'm talking about? And I told my kids, bitch, you ain't married. You is not married. Move on. You know what I'm talking about? When motherfucker, move on. It just is what it is. Now, also, I am for marriage. You know what I'm saying? So if they feel like that's what they want, then lean with. I'm team motherfucking marriage too, team commitment, team one relationship, all of that. But at the same time, the shit ain't for you, bro. Deuces. You know
Just
what I'm saying?
don't commit
Well, I'm just saying, if you're not in the marriage, but you done found yourself in a committed relationship, but now this committed relationship ain't working for you no more, motherfucker, you ain't married. See you later, check up the deuces, bye.
Leave the titles out.
I mean, some people who are married aren't committed either. So I mean, because they got married for particular reasons.
And then some
That's
people
that subject
stay-
that's coming, boy. I'm telling you, that thing.
Did you see the meme where they said, "How do y'all ladies feel about making men be monogamous?" We making them be monogamous. If it wasn't for us making them be monogamous, they would be out here just messing
Shit,
around
they
with
doing
it.
on the end, on the side. This motherfucker, we can't make a motherfucker be monogamous.
We're making them apparently. Making them do something.
Well, yeah, we are.
You're just trying to say it's not in their nature to be with one woman.
We are.
That's what they're saying. So it's not ultimately true as a whole, but I get what they're trying to say. Thank you.
I'm telling you, because I'm probably one of them forces.
When you tell a dude, there's no way I'm gonna be with you if you cheat on me. So, but he really want to cheat on you, but you making him be monogamous with you
Well,
because
no,
he don't
that's
want
different.
you to
No,
leave
no,
him.
no.
That's in that ball though. You're
Well, I
making.
understand what you. That ain't me.
I didn't say it was you. I'm talking
Yeah,
about
no,
me.
but I said I'm probably one of the forces, but I'm not that motherfucking force. No, I ain't that
I
motherfucker.
think another type of forcing is knowing that the dude want to be with you.
Yeah.
She probably want to be with somebody else too, but because that's the type.
But he really wants you.
Yeah, but he really wants
But
you.
you two more.
Yeah, he want to be with you more, but at the same time, like you was just saying, like it's in their nature to cheat. So at the end of the day, like they gonna go and do
cheat.
their own thing, but they
Yeah.
gonna come back home. Like so, I feel like that's the way that we technically
Yeah,
are making
forcing.
them be monogamous
Right.
because we just saying like you
I
can't have your
totally
cake.
agree.
What it is, what they said, the saying,
You can't have your cake
and
and
eat it
too.
too, not cake and eat it too.
Let's
Yeah,
not
so literally, like that's how it is, and most people, like how we were saying, like generations
Wow.
has changed. Like we not putting up with that no more. Like most women back in the day, and this I feel like this is a lot of reason too why these old people still married. Like because those women back then, when they man used to step out on them, they gonna stay. Women nowadays, we not staying.
But no, women nowadays aren't even getting married. They're
We
more
not even getting
accepting.
to the point of getting
Correct,
married because
but they
we
are
just
more
not in
accepting
that
to
relationship.
a third wheel. They are more accepting to that. They're talking about the shortage of the men, and it's more of us women, so some of us got to share. So some people have that mentality, and they don't mind.
Are we going
Sure.
into the marriage thing?
No,
No,
we
we're just
gonna do
talking
that
about.
next.
I mean, but I.
Let's not make this. Let's
Yeah,
not make this.
Yeah,
this
because that motherfucker comes in and get deep. Because I
That's
want to get in
it's
now.
still an entanglement.
Let's
Though.
not make this a male thing, because you know what I mean. From my perspective, Jada was the one.
You ain't gonna keep throwing
He
Jada.
said August is
I'm
innocent.
just saying.
He's
no,
saying August is innocent.
I'm just saying.
But the Bible said.
I'm just saying. Like, it's always when you think of like cheating, you automatically think of cheating or anything outside of the
The
commitment.
person who has to answer is the person who's married.
You think of the male. You think of it's the male. He out here. He
So
like,
you just happy the person who was the cheater was the woman, not the man this time.
yeah. That's the perspective that has to be brought up.
By the time one of these hoes get caught, you see this man is always the dude. The nigga always a dog. He always a dog. Now these hoes that got caught, they all clapping. Yeah.
But they both was wrong because August knew what Jada's situation
And
was.
Will
the
was
first
cheating
situation.
too.
But
The topic just was
Yeah.
not about.
side, I'm saying August was also in wrong because he knew what their situation was. I feel like the cheater, the cheatee is just as guilty as the cheater.
As the cheater.
Yeah, I feel like that because most people be knowing when somebody with somebody. Like you know, bro. Like you're not dumb. Like you know this dude, this woman was in a relationship with somebody. You still.
That's
you
how
know,
they tried to
decided
sugarcoat it by
pursue
trying
him.
to say, "Oh, we were
Well, he got his
separated at the
permission.
time."
Or he
No,
got
we were
his
separated
permission
at the
too.
time. That was a straight lie, I believe. But the whole thing was we weren't together. We were together, but we weren't together.
That's it. Whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, y'all gonna
I'm gonna say I agree, but I agree to a certain extent. Different. So.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it is what it is.
It goddamn sure is what it is. So, that's entanglement for you. So y'all already know we still answer questions even after the show. So we're about to wrap it up. Thank you guys for who all tuned in. Thank you guys for being guests on To Spoken With Podcast. Look, I popped y'all cherries. Yeah, because everybody be caring shy. You know, people they'll throw them topics out there and even be like, let me be a guest on the show, and be like, right before the show, they be like, man, I can't do that. So you know what I'm saying? That's what I mean when I say I pop y'all cherries. Because everybody ain't that confident to get in front of this camera. But y'all already know we always taking topic suggestions. So drop them in the headings. Y'all already know that y'all can follow us on Facebook. We got 2 Facebook pages. There's Spoken with Purpose. That's our business page. Definitely go like that page and follow that page. And then we also have a Spoken W Purpose Facebook page. We're also on Instagram. That is Spoken with Purpose, the number 3. And then we're on YouTube, Spoken with Purpose podcast. We're on all the platforms. We're on Apple Podcasts, Anchor, Spotify. You're going to find us everywhere. Now we even on TikTok.
All that.
You hear me? We got to be ticking and talking. Ticking and talking. So y'all already know entanglements was the topic today. So just do a little summary. Shit can be complicated. Could be considered cheap. Could be considered a situationship. Whatever it is, make it do what it motherfucking do. We out of here. Peace out.